guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about how to avoid the climate disaster by Bill Gates, the solutions we have and the breakthroughs we need. So I got this book in my last academic year, knowing fully well that my choices of electives would be environmental law and petroleum and energy law. I wanted to do some reading outside of school recommended text, and because it's so much more easier to read things free from the prospect of examination, free from the prospect of grades, and it's much more fun too. I did eventually get submerged in preparations for examinations, schoolwork, and whatnot, and it's the reason why I've not been able to review anything of late, even though I've been reading when I'm not supposed to. So, let's get into it. Bill Gates has spent a decade investigating the causes and effects of climate change with the help of experts in the field of physics, chemistry, biology, engineering, political science, and finance. He has focused on what must be done in order to stop the planet's slide towards certain environmental disasters. To stop global warming and avoid the worst effect of climate change, humans need to stop adding greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. This sounds difficult because it will be. The world has never done anything quite this big. Every country will need to change its ways because virtually every activity in modern life, from growing things to making things to moving around from place to place, involves releasing greenhouse gases. If nothing else changes, the world will keep on producing greenhouse gases, climate change will keep getting worse, and the impact, in all likelihood, will be catastrophic. But we can change. We already have some of the tools we need. And as for those we don't have, we can invent them, deploy them, and if we act fast enough, avoid a climate catastrophe. This book is about what we can do and why we can do it. How to Avoid a Climate Disaster was first published in February 2021. Reading this book and the projections around it, I began to remember COVID-19 and other documented world disasters. And I do not need to say that it is a picture of death, a picture of desolation, a picture of degradation, and the ravage in both physical and economic terms. This book presents what climate change means statistically, currently, and inevitably, and what we can do and what we should be doing to avoid a climate disaster. The book changed the way I view a lot of things, and I mean a lot of things. And there is already a commendable global advocacy movement that due attention be given to climate change, and more people need to be properly informed so that we can push for the priority that climate change ought to have. The book is vast with statistics that are easy to follow. Seeing as Bill Gates is American, it presents a good number of American statistics, but there are global analysis and statistics as well. Realities are addressed in this book, and it brings to mind contextual paintings as regards developed, developing, and underdeveloped countries. For instance, in underdeveloped and developing countries, unreliable energy and expensive fuel prices, especially when put against the economy of the country and the means of the people, are still struggled with. Meanwhile, the world is and ought to be moving towards renewable and clean sources of energy. These sources are more expensive than the presently utilized sources. The rich and developed nations of the world, in their bid to attain such remarkable heights, have been responsible for most of the emissions already released in the atmosphere. If the rest of the world, in trying to reach such aspirable level of development, take the same path they have taken, we are going to fill the atmosphere with so much more greenhouse gases and cause a climate disaster. Getting to zero greenhouse gas emissions requires all hands on deck. It requires reducing our emissions as individuals, as companies, as government, by choosing green options and being willing to pay green prices. It requires government policies, current and new technology and innovations, capable supply chains, and available demand markets. This book is a must read for understanding climate change and doing our part to ensure that we do not destroy our home by ourselves. When we talk about development, we must aim for sustainable development that is balancing development with environmental protection and social equity.